Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of I Should Be Painting. Today we're going to be talking about, nope, not Cursed City. We're going to be talking about taking pictures using your favorite box art from your favorite GW board games. Taking photographs of your favorite miniatures is becoming easier and easier every day. With all of the new amazing cameras on your smartphone, you really don't need to make a lot of investment in order to take amazing pictures of your minis. If you would like some really awesome tips for easy, quick ways to take gorgeous pictures of your minis, check out this video here by Tabletop Minions. He posted this a year or so ago, maybe 2 years ago, not sure. It is a great overview of how to take some quick and dirty pictures. However, today we're going to be talking about a technique that I saw on Facebook and I think is absolutely genius. Before we get into that, let's really quickly talk about some basic stuff in order for taking pictures of miniatures. There are a couple of things that you need to know and a couple of things that you can set up. Obviously, if you want to take the highest quality, best lit pictures, you could go ahead and invest in a light box, such as this one here. You can get these from B&H Photo. Sometimes you can even get them from like your local photo store or pretty much anywhere that sells cameras. They're a small, usually 1 foot by 1 foot cube, and you can light them and they diffuse the light nicely through them. I have two, I bought them years ago, and they take wonderful pictures of small objects. Of course, another thing that you can do is buy the Table War MicroMats, which create beautiful, beautiful backdrops for your miniatures and are really pretty in general. On top of that, if you have any sort of mat, maybe a Magic the Gathering mat or one of your 6x4 table mats, you can also use those, prop them up in order to make a background. The most important thing for understanding taking pictures of miniatures is that you want to be able to get close to your miniature and have it in focus, and you want a cool background. These Games Workshop box sets often come with really awesome stuff inside. Now, we are not doing a Cursed City unboxing. There are plenty of those videos out. What I am interested in is getting to the panel of art that is inside of this box. And here it is. Many GW boxes come with these really awesome panels of art, and this one has no pictures of models on it. So I thought, what a great way in order to enhance the background for your miniatures if you don't happen to have a whole bunch of stuff. So we're going to be using this box art from the Cursed City box set as our background, and we're going to take some fun pictures. Two really important things that you need to remember when you're taking pictures of miniatures. One is that you need front light, and two, you need diffused light. Now, diffused light puts an even light all over your miniatures, and you can accomplish that by simply having a light that has a cover over it. This is creating diffused light. When I point it at me, it's creating direct light. So you're going to want really nice, strong front diffused light. You're going to want as much light as you can get, and then we're going to want to set up our miniatures with a base and a background. So let's go ahead and see if we can use these awesome GW inserts to take some cool pictures of miniatures. So here we go, we are at my gaming table and I have this cool Mars mat. Many of you may have playing mats. I also have these space mats, and I'm going to be using the back of one of those space mats for a black bottom. We have our GW back, and we're just going to go ahead and set up a quick and dirty little photo shoot, and then we're going to be using my smartphone to take some pictures, and let's see how awesome of pictures we can take really quickly. Now, the lighting in this room is not great. I do need to add a light in the front, and we're going to be doing that with our clip light. So let's go ahead and set this up. What I've done is pretty simple. I have some overhead light, which is just standard room light. Then I'm using this clip light with a nice cover over it, so we have diffused light, and then I've angled my back plate at about 45 degrees so that when I zoom into right here, I don't have any of this glow, so I can just put my miniatures down and I get this nice front light, I get a nice above light, and we can take some quick and dirty photographs. The other thing I like to do is hold my camera upside down. So whatever side has your camera lenses on it, instead of trying to hold it up and get that angle, just flip it upside down. Another quick way to add some interest to your photographs or your videos is to pick up an automated turnstile. I'm going to take some quick video with this guy spinning around using our background and light. And that's all there really is to it. We are using a background from the Cursed City box. We're using a turnstile that you can get on Amazon or not. We're using the front side or the back side of a gaming mat, which you probably have. And of course, a standard household clip light. And with just your regular room lights, some clip lights, and a little bit of time, you can take some awesome photographs of your miniatures. If you want to take your photos to the next level, of course you can go with professional equipment, light boxes, backgrounds, smoke machines, all sorts of things. But I hope this has helped you learn how to take some quick and dirty, easy photographs for your miniatures. Let's move on to our 3 featured artists of this week. Okay, here we go. Let's take a look at the 3 featured artists for this week. We are starting out on Facebook with Fringe World Studios, and I'm going to have a link to his Facebook page. What I really like about this post is that it's not a completed project, it is an in-process moment. And it's one of those moments where you can start to see the idea of the paint job coming to life. Now, right now, what he's working on is obviously Jack bikes, and he is doing a cool sort of like copper, rusty, bronze look to those bikes, and he has this wonderful in-process view of how that's coming along. Now, there's still obviously a lot more work that needs to go on here, but getting a really good base coat idea and getting your undercoat laid out and understanding exactly how that undercoat is going to work is a key foundation to having a fantastic miniature in the end. And as you can see here, we're not talking about a lot of different colors. Like, obviously we're using some coppers or some bronzes, and we're using some blue, most likely Nilox Oxide, if we are talking a GW brand, or some other green that represents that sort of copper or bronze rust. But what he's done is laid down this beautiful base coat. He's already started to do some detailing and whatnot, and then he's going to be able to go back in and really make these bikes sing. So I just thought this was a fantastic in-process look at how you make sure that your miniature is going to come out great by starting out with a great base coat. Next, we are moving on over to Warpstorm Painting, also on Facebook. Again, link will be in the description below. And there's, not a lot for me to illuminate as to why this model is gorgeous. This is Lazarus, Master of the Dark Angels, chapter of the 5th Company. It says he painted this one with his old Dark Angels green paint. Sadly, it's the last mini in the paint got to paint, but I think it was worth the final mini. I agree. I think this is absolutely tremendous. This is one of those miniatures where, it crosses my ability, and so it's difficult for me to analyze all of the specific details about it because I am not capable of producing such wonderful minis. However, what we can take a look at is this non-metallic metal on the sword. We have this beautiful transition between light and darks with this really stark black right there in the middle and this edge highlight that just sort of makes that pop. Also, if we take a look at the armor, if you spend a moment looking at it, you realize that it is not just, a wet blend of dark with light in the middle and then an edge highlight. There's actually little tiny, what almost appear like scratches to the armor that's sort of giving it that more realistic look, as well as the face. Look at this pin highlighting between the hair and pin washing between the hair and the forehead, and, you know, going down the scar on the face along with these two teeny tiny little dots. I mean, it is just, in general, a master class miniature, and you know that because he's got it on a cool puck. Anybody who's really good at painting, they always put them on these cool pucks to take pictures of. So this is fantastic. Warpstorm Painting has a bunch of amazing paint jobs on it, so you should check it out if you have not already. Lastly, we are taking a look at a Marvel Crisis Protocol miniature. It is Cabel, and I really hope I pronounce this right. I believe that the artist who created this, his first name is Maciej. I did message him to ask for the correct pronunciation, but he has not messaged me back in time for me to make the video, so I'm hoping that Maciej is the correct pronunciation. I will put a link to the group that he posted this model in, but I just thought this was a really, really beautiful rendition of Cabel and kind of gives it more of that traditional style. Like, it's difficult to get a good comic book miniature, but also a nicely painted miniature that's not in comic book style, and I think he's done a fantastic job of sort of walking that fine line between making sure that it's a well-painted miniature, but also, you know, keeping that comic book style of painting. Now, again, we can see some awesome non-metallic metal uses and blending going on here in the arms with this black down here and a white highlight up there with the two colors transitioning over. We also have the blue cloth, which has nice highlights on the muscles, as well as everything has a directionality to it. All of the light has a particular direction that you can clearly see he's paid attention to. So we have a higher lightness on this boot here and inside here and on the back of the knee here, and then coming across the gun we can see it's lighter here and then darker back here with this clearly directional light that he's managed to put onto the model. I also really like the shading of these pants. Now, on such a close model, the shading probably looks a little blotchy, but I bet if this was on the tabletop, his pants are gonna blend perfectly, like at that 3-foot distance that we all should be striving for. Like, obviously we're not painting models to be looked at under a microscope or even, you know, the really close-up lens that we have on our phones. Also, something else that was really nice is I think his face is very well painted. I mean, this transition of color from either side with the darker red over here and then the yellow and the object source lighting, the eye, you know, kind of lighting around, as well as sort of the scar highlight and the different shades that we have into the hair with this really awesome hairline transition. Two models with amazing hairline transitions back to back. It's just a great model. And then we flip around to the cloak. Fantastic cloak, wonderful wet blending going on, along with a little bit of dinge and dankness on the bottom, and our highlights going across here. So I just think it is a fantastic model, and I hope that I pronounce your name correctly. I believe it's Maciej, and I will again have a link to his work in the description below if you want to check it out for yourself. Thank you all so much for joining us on this episode of I Should Be Painting. I hope that quick and dirty photographing your model tutorial really helps. Again, there's so much stuff out there for photographing your models. There's a lot of videos to recommend. You should definitely check out Uncle Adam's video, which I will have linked down below, and is also in the card. I don't ever know which side those cards are on. But if you want to take some of your awesome Warhammer 40k art that's come in all of those amazing boxes or Age of Sigmar boxes that you have collected over the years and use those as backgrounds, I strongly recommend that you do, because they are a really fun, easy way to get some cool creative backgrounds for your models. And if you want to learn more about photographing stuff, or if you want to buy some absolutely incredible backgrounds, I strongly recommend the Table War MicroMat photographing set, which comes with a little T-brace and a bunch of different mats that you can hang, and it makes photographing your miniatures really easy. So thank you so much for joining us on I Should Be Painting. If you want to take your patronage to the next level, check out our Patreon in the notes below. As always, remember to leave a like, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, do all of the internet things. And as always, this has been Aaron from the Cool Guys Nation, and we'll see you on the table.